Man, it was called Spasms. It was called, when we shot it, it was called Death Bite. It was called Slither, had all kinds of names. But this was the second film I did with Oliver Reed. And I knew him pretty well by then. The opening was set in the jungles of Borneo, which ironically, I ended up shooting a film in Borneo 4 years later with a Vietnam film with Gene Hackman and Danny Glover. Well, Bat 21.
Yes.
Uh, but in this case, Bill's imagination said, "Oh, this is what we're going to do." And the Mudmen and the vicious thing and the snake. And halfway through the movie, it was all about a snake that somehow slithers into North America and starts terrorizing people. Halfway through the movie, one of the producers said, "Oh yeah, I saw this film, and so I think we should make the snake the devil and a spirit, and he can go anywhere, he can go through walls and transcend." And Bill, the writer, said, "Okay, okay, okay." And he did a rewrite. So then it got just out of control. And Henry Fonda, or not Peter Fonda, was a handful. But Oliver Reed, another strong kind of domineering character, but he was a doctor and knew all this stuff. And we ended up shooting scenes in a much more gothic way than originally planned. But yeah, that was a fun film. I just remember the end of the film, which was the end of the schedule for us, when Ollie is confronted. The snake has now grown exponentially. It's this huge thing, and it attacks him on a dock of a lake. And for some reason, the producers decided, everyone was Canadian, but they said, "Oh, these Canadian special effects guys don't know what they're doing. We're going to bring in these guys from New York to mechanize the snake, that it can now." It had hydraulics. It was great. And these guys didn't know what they didn't know. And my crew, in fact, my gaffer he was an engineer as well. And he said, these guys have their hydraulics connected improperly. So instead of doing this slither thing that had hydraulic tubes and with open eyes and things, that's what we do now, they had it somehow pressurized so it worked like a backhoe. And so we had to shoot it in slow motion to slow it down. And the thing was, eventually at the end of this long night, and Ollie was going crazy, coked out of his mind, this thing kept hitting him and attacking him, and, "Oh, I can't work this way. Oh, bloody hell." And he turned the bloody thing off. So they turn it off, and it's this big rubber snake puppet. And he said, "Roll the bloody cameras." So, okay, let's see what happens. And he grabs the thing and attacks himself with it. And just, it was just full body kabuki pantomime Oliver Reed craziness. And then he did this whole, it was like Monty Python. And we're trying not to laugh, but Ollie's just, he knows the sun's coming up. He knows this is his last scene. They just beat the hell out of himself and then threw himself in the lake. He was solid to the end. He accepted his role as a horror film maker, and he really led the field for a long time. And he kept calling me like, how would Cronenberg do this? How would David do this? Okay, I'll do it the same way. And he did. That was the link.